Hey, welcome back to the Daily Dave. It's Dave. I'm here with you, and I want to talk to you about something you may have seen on someone's desk before. And you thought, oh, that's a cute little toy. And you move on with your life. But this cute little toy has a great lesson for us as podcasters. And once you hear this, I don't think you'll ever look at this cute little toy the same way ever again. And you might actually want to go out and buy yourself one, because there's a great lesson in a little toy that you'd find on your desk. And you're like, what's the point of that? There's a big point, a big point. And it's going to have a big impact on your podcast. I wanted to jump on and share with you on the Daily Dave, so here we go. Thanks for being here. Here we go. So you've probably seen this contraption before, sitting on someone's desk or shelf behind their desk or whatever, and you're like, so what's the point of that thing? Is it just a mindless toy that I can play with while I'm on my Zoom meeting or waiting on hold to talk to the bank? Well, no, it's actually got some amazing science behind it, and it's called Newton's Cradle. Now, there'll be a picture of it on the show art, and a link as well, so you can kind of see it in action. If you've never had one, you should see how it works. But Newton's Cradle is basically, looks like two parallel bars separated, and hanging in the middle are 5 small silver balls hanging from the cradle in the middle, and they're touching, all 5 balls are touching each other. And what happens is you grab one of the balls on the end and you kind of lift it out and let it go. It comes down and hits the other 4, but something unique happens in the process of it doing that. And it's very scientific and quite exciting, but there's a principle behind this that I think we can use in our podcast. You're like, Dave, this is a stretch. You're taking a toy and comparing it to podcasting. Dave, this is a stretch. But there's something going on here that I think we can think about for our podcast. And here I have one here. I'm actually going to do this. So I'm holding the ball up away from the other 4 balls. I'm going to let go, and it should make a sound. Here we go. So what's happening is I released 1 ball. It swings down and hits the other 4. And the ball on the opposite end moves. The other 3 stay in the middle. They kind of move a little bit, but only because I raised 1 ball and dropped it, only 1 ball on the end moves. I'm going to do it again because this is fun. So there we go. So 1 ball hits the 4, and the opposite ball on the very other end moves. Now, the other thing that's interesting is if you grab 2 of these, there's 3 that are hanging there, not moving. I have 2 in my hand, and as I release the 2, something happens. So 2 are released, they hit the 3, the one in the middle stays basically in the middle, and then 2 of the balls on the opposite end move. So I release 2, and then 2 move on the other end. What if I do 3? Okay, here we go. 3. I have 3 raised into the air. 2 are hanging there, not moving. What's going to happen, everyone? What's going to happen? Okay, here we go. Okay, so now I release 3, and now 3 are moving on the other end. This is like fun with science, Dave. Are you blinding me with science? Yeah, I'm blinding you with science. Here we go. So now I'm going to release 4. Now, what should happen? There's only 1 ball hanging, and it's the very last ball in the row. Hanging, not moving. And I have 4 in my hand. I'm going to release 4. Are you excited at home? Is this a spectacular audio experience for you? Yeah. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to release 4, and let's see what happens to the 1. Okay, so I released 4, which hit the 1, remaining 1. And now, because I released 4, then 4 move on the other end. Okay, so you're like, Dave, okay, again, Dave, we're in audio format here. Can you please explain what you're saying, what you're seeing? What I'm getting out of all this is whatever I release. So if I release 2, I get 2. If I release 1, I get 1. If I release 3, I get 3. And if I release 4, I get 4. Whatever we put out into the world, we get back. This could be in a positive sense. It could also be in a negative sense. Think about what you've put out into the world this week. Has it been great? Has it been all positive? Has it been negative? Whatever you put out into the world equally returns to you. So what I'm asking you as a fellow podcaster, in and around podcasting, in and around other podcasters, is to put out good things into the community, into your listeners, into fellow podcasters, and don't put out any negative. Again, the reason I started the How to Podcast series was because I'm hearing negativity from long-time, old-school podcasters who don't like progress, or don't like change, or don't like anything that's different than how we used to do it back in the day. And they throw out negativity and they push people down so they can raise themselves up. And I'm just saying that when you do things like that, when you release negativity into the world, it's going to come back to you. Just like Newton's Cradle, this simple little desktop distraction, whatever you release, 1 ball, 2 balls, 3 or 4, you get back in equal measure. I'm inviting you this week to not do something negative, but to do something positive and release it into the world. So if you're looking for feedback for your show, give feedback to someone else's show. If you're looking for someone to use your Buy Me a Coffee link, then I want you to use someone else's Buy Me a Coffee link. If you want a rating and review for your show, I want you to give a rating and review for someone else's show. If you want feedback, if you want people to send you an email, if you want someone to buy your book, whatever you're asking of everyone else, I want you to do that for someone first. So you're an author and you're selling a book. How many books have you bought? How many reviews for books have you left? If you're a podcaster, how many other shows have you listened to? How many other shows have you answered their questions or polls, or given them an email, get on their Instagram and give them a shout out? What have you done not to get back, but to put good out into the world? Just like Newton's Cradle. Whatever you give, you'll get back. It might not come back in the exact same form. It might be slightly different. And we don't give to get. But if you're going to ask anything of anyone, my question to you is to follow Newton's Cradle and go, you know what? If I give 2 pieces of feedback, I might get 2 back. If I give 3 pieces of feedback, I might get 3 back. And the one thing about Newton's Cradle, if you don't touch it and you just look at it, it just sits there on your desk and it never moves. It doesn't really have any purpose. It's a great dust collector. And I think as podcasters, if we never do anything for anyone else, we're kind of like a Newton's Cradle that's never been touched, never been used. It sits on a desk or a shelf behind you. We don't even know what it does because we never really used it. And in podcasting, we need more people who give than ask. More people who give than take. So my question and my challenge to you this week, today, is what are you going to give out? With Newton's Cradle as our example here, what are you going to give out today in your podcast? Think about it. There's a saying, church circles, that what you give will come back to you. It's kind of a common belief. And I believe that, again, if we give negativity, we'll receive negativity. If we give positivity, we'll receive positivity. So I'm challenging you to give something great this week, today, to help someone else, another podcaster just like you, using Newton's Cradle as an example. Let's do something great, everyone. Let's do something amazing and help somebody else. Okay? Let's set the example. Newton's Cradle is a great example of how we can do something different to help others. And I would love to see what we can do together. So if you're looking for some encouragement, reach out to me. If we haven't met yet, I would love to meet you. And I'd love to put some positivity into your world. To do that, I gotta meet you though. I see you're listening. I can see where you are in the world and that you're hitting play. So thankful and grateful. But until we can chat, until I can have you on the screen or in my emails or whatever, I just would love to meet you and encourage you that you're doing great stuff in your podcast. And Newton's Cradle is a great example of how we can show up for others in a great way. So, did I blind you with science? As the song would say. Did I? I hope so. And I hope that you can apply this week. Thank you for listening to the How to Podcast series, The Daily Dave. You're amazing. You're a great podcaster. You're on a great journey, and I'd love to be there to support you. So reach out anytime. Calendar links on the website. Jump in there. I see people doing it, and it's so great to talk to amazing people. So jump in there, okay? Newton's Cradle, blinding you with science here on the How to Podcast series. Get out there and record that episode today. Talk soon. Hey, it's Dave. Yeah, I'm back. It's the end of the episode. Everybody's gone. You and I are still hanging out. We're having coffee. We're having fun. We're having a great conversation. So I want to just leave you one extra bonus answer to a question that I get often. So last episode I talked about... Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, last episode I did this as well. At the end of the episode, I talked about YouTube and what to say to your guests about YouTube and what they can do in the YouTube comments. If you haven't heard it, you got to go back one episode. I apologize. Go back to 503 and hear what I talked about this episode. In YouTube, make sure you suggest to your guest that they create a playlist on YouTube of all of the places they've ever been as a guest. So on their YouTube channel, if they don't have one, just tell them, get a Gmail account. You get a free YouTube channel with it. It comes right along. Super easy. Get them to set up a YouTube channel, especially if they're guesting more than once on other podcasts. They should probably do this. Create a YouTube channel for their book, their course, their podcast, whatever, and create a playlist. And in the playlist, just have, Dave guesting on podcasts or Dave being a guest, something like that. Give it a name. And every time you go on a show, put that episode in your playlist. Instead of telling your guests to go find you in all these different shows on YouTube, that's a terrible experience to ask somebody to do all that work. Give them one link. Put all of your episodes in from the past, in the future, in one playlist where you're a guest and your audience has one click to hear and see you all over the place as a guest. So encourage your guests to do this as well. By doing this, they're linking to you and to your episode, and you're getting the plays for the episode. Instead of them releasing the content on their episode separate from your episode, you're getting every single play from their community on their playlist, but they were on your show. So your play count goes up, and your guest has a simple way to share all of the places they've ever been as a guest. So encourage your guest to create a playlist, name it their name, guesting on shows, whatever they want to call it, and every episode that they go on as a guest, put it in the playlist. It's a great way for you to grow your views be found on YouTube and have a way for your guests to share it with their community. I encourage them to share it in their email newsletter, on social, in their Substack, wherever. Here's me on all these different shows, one click, one link, off we go. Encourage your guests to do that when you have your pre-chat. Because you are, right? Yes, when you have your pre-chat, because pre-chats aren't stupid, make sure you do that and include that link so that all of your guests have a way to find their way back to you. Talk to you on the next episode. Take care.